What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, the Colts win in their return to SoFi Stadium and beat the Los Angeles Chargers 38-24. The Colts are now 6-1, sitting atop the NFL in the standings and are 2 games ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars for the lead in the AFC South. Cody, is there any dispute at this point in time that the Colts are not the best team in the league? I mean, come on. Give it to me.
I mean, dude, number one in the AFC, number one in the NFL, I think, right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Colts and the Bucks, and that's it for teams with one loss. So I told you, Derek, when I first came on the stream here, I said the best part of 6-1 and was what?
Getting a chance to go 7-1,
That's
baby.
Right. Let's go. I mean, Derek, holy cow, dude. I mean, this team's on another level, man.
Cody, think of how many fans we talked to that said they didn't think we win 6 games this year. I mean, think of that. Heck, I mean, there were so many people that said 4 wins, 5 wins.
And we even said 7, 8, 9.
So, I mean, I said 8 and 9. I did not have a ton of confidence. I thought we'd still be mediocre.
Right. Like about last year. That's why. I mean, this is just crazy, man. I mean, holy cow.
Absolutely crazy. And Cody, here's another stat. I tweeted it earlier. So the Indianapolis Colts scored 38 today. We have seen all the stats. The Indianapolis Colts have now scored, Cody, 5 out of their 7 games have scored at least 30 points. In those 2 other games that they didn't, they scored 29 against the Denver Broncos. So you're 1 point away there. And then in the Rams game, in which you lost because you had 14 points taken off the board because of penalties, you would have had 34 in that game also. So, I mean, again, we could go forever talking about the stats, and maybe I'll make a stream at some point talking about just how unbelievably wild some of these stats are that the Colts are doing. But let's just talk about it, man. Let's talk about some individual players here today, man. Daniel Jones, once again, on his stuff, man. Just another classic performance. 23 of 34, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, only sacked once today, and had a QB rating of 113.4. Cody, when your quarterback is putting up numbers like that and is as efficient as that every single week, it feels like, you're going to win more games than you're not.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Jones just continues to be, like you said, one of the most efficient quarterbacks passing the football. I mean, even on a day, Derek, where, it felt like there was times where, Daniel Jones wasn't hitting some of the passes he's hit in the past, right? But overall, I mean, there's really nothing to complain about at all. I mean, just another solid, efficient day by Daniel Jones. He had the 2 passing touchdowns, like you mentioned, took care of the football all day long. Used his legs a couple times, which is cool to see, and also had that pass for that 2-point conversion as well. So 3 touchdowns, if you will, that he threw today, but technically only 2. But yeah, he was absolutely doing exactly what you needed. We knew this Chargers team, Derek, we knew they were going to struggle against the run, they were a pretty strong unit in terms of the passing game. So to see what Daniel Jones did, one of his higher outages for passing yards, 275, and 2 touchdowns, no turnovers again. I mean, this is exactly what you want Daniel Jones to be for you. He just continues to be efficient, but he's not just check down Charlie either. He hasn't been that.
No.
I mean, Derek, there's a 3rd and long where he just airs it out to Pierce for
Cody,
first down.
he's 3rd in the NFL in yards per attempt in the NFL. If you would have told me that was going to happen this year, I never would have believed you.
Yeah, who would have saw that coming? Nobody did. So it's just awesome, man, to see this resurgence of Daniel Jones. I mean, just to see him, Derek, so comfortable in that pocket. I mean, he only got sacked, I think, once today. And that was probably a throw, honestly, he could have thrown away. But regardless, he was pretty much protected very well all day for this Colts offense. Colts were able to do whatever they wanted. Daniel Jones was a big reason why. It didn't matter who he was throwing to. And Derek, you know what's crazy about this is you scored one of your highest outings all year, missing two of your top receivers in this game. Didn't have Josh Downs. You didn't have Ashton Dulin. So you're having to rely upon guys like Anthony Gold and Adonai Mitchell. And you did, and you really were still effective. It didn't matter who you were missing. Your offense were just staying on track, and in big part due to Daniel Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Cody, before we hop too far into it, just want to say again, this episode is sponsored by FanDuel. Guys, I mean, the Colts were a 2.5-point underdog going into this game, dude.
Yeah.
And I said to all of you throughout the week, I said it on social media, I said it on here, you should have hit the over on this game because the over, Cody, was 48.5. The Colts nearly went there all by themselves. And so if you went over and you had the Colts winning this game, you probably had a pretty good payday if you're using FanDuel. So shout out to them. We'll get you guys some more odds throughout the week. But Cody, I mean, again, the whole narrative over the last few weeks for the Indianapolis Colts being at the number one, right? Before we hop any more into individual stats and everything else performances today, the whole talk over the last 3 weeks for the Colts has been they're number one because they haven't played anyone. They haven't played anyone. They're all trash teams, and the Colts are beating up on trash teams. Are we really going to sit here and have people tell us that the Chargers are a trash team? Can we just put that argument to bed? Right. I mean, this is a Chargers team that was at home. They had their injuries, but we had our own injuries. We had 3 or 4 significant injuries on our team, and we still put belt to ass in this game, dude. Like, can we put the argument to bed now that the Colts are actually for real and it's not been because of the teams they're facing?
Right, exactly. It's like, what are they going to say now? How are the goalposts going to be moved even further, right? Because it's like they act like the bad teams the Colts have played, which, Derek, by the way, Arizona's not a bad team. They have been competitive every single game this year.
Yeah.
Able to take care of business, not playing your best football last week. But even, some of the teams that are really bad, that are going to be top 5, probably in the draft selection, the Colts beat those teams down. I mean, they did. They've had, 3 blowouts in 7 games. So,
well, at least.
Yeah. And if you want to, I don't know what you classify as a blowout, 21 plus points, but this was a 2-possession game as well. So depending how you define it, it could be, I wouldn't classify it as one, but this is definitely wasn't a close game score wise. I mean, overall, you were double digit scoring ahead of them, right? So you probably, if your offense would have tried a little bit in that last drive, you probably could have went out again, just how good your offense has looked. But yeah, I think we can put that argument to bed, Derek. I mean, this Colts team, they are legitimate. Certainly not without their warts, that's for sure, especially on the defensive side. But, I mean, overall, this is a team, Derek, that every single week, I don't care who the opponent's been. I know people like to look at the records and say everything is bad on a team, but they faced some defenses that have been pretty good, and they've still put up good numbers, all things considered. And this is a Chargers defense. Like, I know their offensive line, we talk about that. This was a Chargers defense that was relatively healthy in comparison to their offense. So I really, and like I said, the Chargers coming into this game, they were a top 10 defense in terms of passing yards allowed. So, they were legitimate. They were legitimate contenders. So, and I think they still are in a lot of ways. So, yeah, I think all in all to say, you can definitely put that argument to bed. The Colts are legitimate. They can do a little bit of everything. They can run the football. They can pass the football. They protect their quarterback, Daniel Jones, extremely well. Defense has issues, but they definitely took the ball away a lot in this game, which you're definitely encouraged about, especially like you said, you're down 2 of your top 3 corners in this game. Kenny Moore comes back, but you're rolling out, undrafted guys and guys you traded 6-round picks for, right? So, so all that to say, the Colts, like any team, they have their flaws, but they are absolutely a team that I think can contend. And they've shown that through the first 7 weeks. Doesn't matter where or how, the Colts have been in every single game or if they've been blowing out teams. I mean, that's just facts.
And you know what? In all honesty, and here's the thing. We've been talking about these players. We've been talking about everything that they've done. I mean, I don't think we give enough credit to Shane Steichen.
Absolutely.
what Shane Steichen has done this year, he is on an easy path right now to be coach of the year.
Oh,
Easily.
easily.
I mean, just from every single thing, Cody, I don't know what it is, but it's like everything is fine tuned. Everything. This offense is on historical levels. It can't just be because of the players, schematically, how you do things, and the balls to run on fourth down 3 times in this game and get all 4 fourth down conversions. And then, the special teams, even amidst the injuries, Cody, again, we talked about Ashton Doolin. How would it affect the special teams today? It didn't. Amir Abdullah almost takes one to the house, and I mean, and the defense, again, like you said, it has its flaws. It's just majorly injured right now. But for this team to still be able, when the going gets tough, this team finds a way. And they are 6-1. They're 2 mistakes in one game from being 7-0, the only undefeated team left in this league. And I mean, Shane Steichen deserves all the credit in the world right now for how prepared and how in tune this team is right now.
Absolutely. You're right. Like, for all the issues this team had last year, all the question marks they had, we know with the accountability, with the inability to finish at times, like Shane Steichen and this team, they're resilient. They are so resilient. And you just can't talk enough about the job that he's done with this Indianapolis Colts team. And really, Derek, like, just with the offense, like, you added Tyler Warren, which is obviously a huge addition, but this offense was relatively the same from what it had been last year. So credit to Shane Steichen, putting players in positions to win. And like I said, like, you were down 2 receivers that have been critical to your success, and it didn't matter. Like, you still were able to do whatever you wanted in this game. So yeah, absolutely, Shane Steichen and this Colts offense, like, even in that Rams game, I know the Colts lost that game, but they didn't fold. They fought right down to the end in that game.
Yeah.
It was just a mistake here and a mistake there that cost them that win. But this team fights, Derek. They fight, and they're never down and out. And when they're up, they're figuring out ways to close things out, which is definitely huge. So you had it last week in Arizona. You had to have it. You made it happen. This week again, as infuriating as the defense was in that second half, at the end of the day, they didn't score at the end of that one to cut it to a touchdown, difference there. So
Huge.
as much as I was pissed off at the defense, Derek, in that second half, I don't say that word a lot, but as much as I was upset at the defense for just some awful stuff going on, at the end of the day, like, you held the Chargers to 24 points. And I think if you and I were talking about this game a couple days ago and we saw the Chargers at 24 points, we would take that, considering how good the Chargers have been offensively and also how decimated your defense has been on that side of the ball. So, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but you're right. Shane Steichen, they deserve credit for what they've done with this Colts team. I mean, how could he not be up for Coach of the Year? The Colts, for goodness sakes, are 6-1. Like, he has to be right there. He has to be
He has to be number 1, and then there's a gap. There has to be. There's Shane Steichen, and there's a gap, 100%. Now, we talked about potential Coach of the Year. We talked about potential MVP in Daniel Jones. Now, let's talk about the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
And let's talk about Jonathan Taylor in this run game. 16 carries today for 94 yards for Jonathan Taylor. And, honestly, Cody, I'm shocked at the few amount of carries. I'll be completely honest with you. I thought Jonathan Taylor would touch the ball a lot more today than what he actually did. But he made full advantage of it. 16 carries, 94 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, Cody, he's the only running back in franchise history to have, or actually, I think they said it was any time ever where a running back had 3 separate games of 3+ touchdown games in any season in the NFL. I mean, what he's doing is insane. He has 11 touchdowns on the year, rushing touchdowns. No other running back in the NFL has more than 7. I mean, he is blowing out the competition. He is just on a level of his own. And obviously, Amir Abdullah had a couple plays today. I mean, I'll shout out him too. He had 2 carries for 19 yards, near I think it was in that first half where they wanted to give Jonathan Taylor a few plays off. Mm-hmm. Amir Abdullah, who got called up again, he had a few plays where, again, and we talked about the special teams, obviously what he did there, tremendous. So, I mean, again, this was another day, Cody, 23 carries altogether from the rushing day, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, it doesn't get better than Jonathan Taylor right now.
No, it doesn't. Right near 700 yards rushing through 7 games, Derek, which is crazy. I mean, the fact that also, Derek, is the thing that impresses me the most about Jonathan Taylor this year as compared to years in the past is, number one, he stayed healthy, which is great. But number 2, Derek, is the fact that he has been so darn consistent. Like every single game, it's not like he goes, those games he's had where he'll go for 200 plus yards and then he'll rush for like 50 or something, or he'll miss a game. Like it hasn't been that case this year. He has been consistent throughout the course of this game. I mean, 6 yards away from 100 yards rushing today, but Derek just coming off of a 123-yard performance. So, I mean, when you look at this overall, Jonathan Taylor has been at or very near 100 yards rushing in 4 of the 7 games you've played.
Yeah,
which is good. And that's not even mentioning as well, like he had 2 games where he had over 70 yards rushing. So, I mean, he's been very consistent. Only 1 game this season, Derek, where Jonathan Taylor has only had 66 yards rushing, but he had 3 touchdowns in that game, so it didn't matter. But you know what I mean? Like he's been very consistent. Like, and we knew he was a great back, but the consistency is what has impressed me the most about JT this year. Is like on a consistent basis, you can count on him to get a touchdown or 2 or 3, and you can count on him to get right near 100 yards pretty much every game. So that's just what I admire about JT. And then you mentioned Amir Abdullah. I mean, Derek, very clearly the RB2 right now. And I like his burst, man. He's got something different about him. Like on the couple runs he had, he's got another level when it comes to speed. I think he's got some of the, I mean, from what I saw, he's got some very impressive burst when he gets.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I'll be completely honest, and we'll talk about offensive line here before we talk about the receiving core. I mean, Cody, there were times where Jonathan Taylor was running the football today. He didn't even get touched. The 2 of the 3 touchdown runs that Jonathan Taylor had. I mean, honestly, Cody, 2 out of the 3 that he had, he never even got touched. And they were all from 12 yards out, 20 yards out. I mean, and the other one where he had the 23-yarder, like he barely got touched, like, I mean, this offensive line, Cody, is just on another level. I mean, this might be the best version of this offensive line that we have seen since Ballard has gotten here. Yeah. I mean, to be completely honest with you, Cody, I mean, this is insane. Daniel Jones, I think they said going into the game today, Daniel Jones the Colts have been sacked, turnovered, and punted less than 17 times through the first 6 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, so that's total punts, that's total sacks, and that's total turnovers. I mean, that's insane. It's the least amount in the Super Bowl era. And a lot of that is because this O-line, Daniel Jones just doesn't get hit. And this offensive line, they move people. I mean, and it helps that Quentin Nelson is having probably the best season of his entire career. He is just moving people. Yeah. There is not anyone that wants to be in the way of Quentin Nelson right now. I mean, this offensive line is not going to get enough credit for what it's been through in the first 7 games. But this offensive line is elite, Cody. I mean, it's the best in the NFL, and it's not close.
No, I mean, I would agree. It's so impressive to me, Derek, especially considering the fact that we had 2 new young starters in there playing beside each other. And we were, I mean, I'll admit it. I was nervous. I mean, we've seen in the past where the Colts have ran out young guys or unproven guys where they've seen the small sample size, and they're like, okay, we're going to, like Danny Pinter back in 2022, for example. They put him at left guard, didn't go well. So you never know with those guys. Like, obviously, you drafted those guys, so you believe they can be it. But there was a concern, like, and a question mark, like, how are those guys going to hold up? But you're absolutely right. Shout out Tanner Bordolini. Shout out Matt Gonsalves. They have been studs. I mean, my goodness, like on that one big JT touchdown run he had, I mean, there was a gap like wider than the state of Indiana, Derek.
I could have ran through that gap,
Yeah,
brother.
like you and I, my grandma could have ran through that. Like this offensive line, you were right. They are absolutely elite right now. Like they're carving ways for Jonathan Taylor and whoever's running the football. Really, not even Jonathan Taylor. Like Amir Abdullah in this game, Derek. When he ran the football, he averaged almost 10 yards a carry. So, like they were opening up massive gaps all day long, and we knew that this defense of the Chargers, they were very susceptible to the run. But this offensive line handed them their lunch all day long. It didn't matter. They imposed their will on this Chargers offensive line running the football. And like we said, they protected Daniel Jones. And this was a Chargers defensive line that was getting back some key guys like Khalil Mack. So for what they did, you were absolutely right. I think, Derek, they're the best offensive line in football. I don't think it's close to me with what they've done. I've been so impressed with what they've done. I mean, really. So, and it's like a combination of different players at different stages. Like you have the two young guys, you have your two veterans in Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith. And then you have the guy that just got paid in Bernard Ryman, and they're all playing at very high levels. So, yeah, it's very impressive what this offensive line has done. And you and I, as former offensive linemen, we know, like, offensive line, that's the lifeblood of your offense. Like, if your offensive line's not doing what they need to do, if they're not protecting, if they're not opening gaps, I don't care if you have Jonathan Taylor, if you have prime Derrick Henry, it's not going to work. Like, you need your offensive line to do what they're doing. And the credit to the Colts offensive line, they've done exactly that. Derek, I haven't said this yet in a podcast. The Colts made the right decision by letting Ryan Kelly and Will Fries go in free agency. They made the right decision.
Yes, they did. And kudos to Ballard for getting your center and your right guard in the same draft, back-to-back picks.
Yeah.
I mean, only Chris Ballard. Only Chris Ballard. Nobody drafts offensive linemen better than Ballard, dude. I mean,
crazy,
It's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And you're right. They won't get the credit that they deserve, but they're awesome, man. They're awesome, and they are the reason why this Colts team is able to do everything that they have done so far offensively. Now, let's go to the wide receivers and the tight ends here because, again, you were down Downs and Doolin here, Cody, and you wondered how that was going to impact them being able to move the football. Because, I mean, Cody, I don't know if you know this, but of the 21 catches that Josh Downs has had this year, 12 of them have gone for a first down or a touchdown. So, I mean, he's a big chain mover. So that's a huge loss. And then you obviously saw Ashton Doolin against the Raiders. He was our number one wide receiver that next week. So, I mean, you had these situations where those guys played some big minutes, and those are some important pieces. But it did not matter today. Alec Pierce, 5 catches for 98 yards. The Colts were going to him often, a lot of times throwing the ball real deep, and they weren't able to connect on a lot of them, but the plays that they did were huge. Tyler Warren, once again, another day, 4 catches for 70 yards and another touchdown. Cody, I think that's 4 games in a row now that Tyler Warren has scored a touchdown in. Michael Pittman, 7 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. He did his thing, called upon a lot. Jonathan Taylor had 3 catches for 38 yards. Again, we continue to see Jonathan Taylor not just be a running back. Yep. He's a guy that you utilize out of the backfield. Amir Abdullah had 1 catch today for 8 yards. Adonai Mitchell had 1 catch today for 8 yards on the 1 target he had. Mo Ali Cox, after that big return by Abdullah, had a good 6-yard catch there to put it in second and short, in which the Colts scored on the next play. And Anthony Gould rounds it out for 1 catch for 3 yards. I mean, again, Cody, 8 different guys catching the football today for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, again, nobody dominates it, Cody. Every single person does their role and is pivotal to this offensive success. And kudos to them, man. I mean, again, you lost 2 of your top 4 wide receivers, and it just ultimately didn't matter, Cody. It still went operation as usual.
which is just that again, like I said, like that's just what makes this offense so impressive is it doesn't really matter who's in there. Like the offense is still on schedule, which is very impressive in itself. And you're right. Like the thing you love about what Daniel Jones is doing is he's spreading the ball around. You have a ton of playmakers, and he's getting the ball into those playmakers' hands. And I just love that you have a couple plays scripted up for Alec Pierce like every single game, where you just throw it deep. And, I don't know about you, but most of the time it's a pass interference call. They didn't get the one there, which I know like usually I feel like they get that against whoever's guarding Pierce. But Alec Pierce is a guy, Derek, you have to bring. You got to extend him. He's the must. You have to extend him. No question about that.
I don't think you can get rid of him, man. You can't let him leave the building.
He's pivotal. I mean, Derek, what other receiver on your team you just throw the ball up to on third and forever?
3rd and 15 and then gets a gain of 50.
Right, exactly. So that's just the type of player Alec Pierce is. He gets separation. He finds ways to get open deep downfield, and that's the type of guy that you just can't afford to lose if you're the Colts. So he's a must re-sign for me. But yeah, I mean, this offense in general, Tyler Warren, again, just continues to be a stud. I really just want him to get 100 yards just so we can say he's finally got 100 yards. He's been so close in some of these games.
It's the most silent 70 yards I've ever seen. Like, yeah. I mean, it's so crazy because it spaces out so well for Warren. Like, it's usually the first drive where he touches the ball like 3 times on the first drive, and then you don't see him again touch the ball until like the 3rd quarter, and then has another big catch here and then another big catch in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, I love, again, the fact Warren is so pivotal. Warren is so pivotal, especially early in games when the Colts are trying to establish rhythm. And I don't know why teams don't put more emphasis on him, man. I don't get it. Like, Tyler Warren is looking like a stud because teams are just flat out not guarding him. I don't understand.
Right. It's insane how wide open Tyler Warren finds himself a lot of times. Like, I'm honestly amazed at, like you said, like, he's just so open all the time. And it's all like an easy 5, 6, 7, 8 yard gain, like every time. So,
yeah. And it's more than that. I mean, he's just like you saw in the Denver game multiple times on those sail routes. He's just open. And it's always in the flat. It's always in the flat. He comes over in the flat because he looks like he's blocking and then comes out into the flat. Nobody picks him up. And then what should have been a 4 or 5 yard gain turns into a 20-yard gain because nobody's out there to go after him. I mean,
tell you, man, that play action bootleg, it's been the Colts' best friend all day long with a player like Tyler Warren.
And you know what? It's crazy that you have a quarterback now that can actually just complete those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that we have to say that an NFL quarterback in Anthony Richardson couldn't consistently hit that, which is so weird because it's like that's the kind of play that like every quarterback practices that like 50 times in practice every single day, and yet somehow, some way, one guy only could complete 50% of the time there, and then you have Daniel Jones completing 90% of his passes on that bootleg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different, man.
It's this Colts offense is so methodical. They're just consistent. Like, they just keep getting it, and then all of a sudden you dial up a deep one, or you dial up a big play, a JT breaks one. Like, that's what makes this Colts offense so difficult is to steal a Chris Ballard quote, they do the layups very well, but that's not their whole game, right? They have other wrinkles to their offense too. So, but if you can do the small things well, it opens up the big things whenever they, obviously present themselves later on in drives and games and stuff like that. So all that stuff, all that to say, this Colts offense is very impressive in everything they've done, and in no small part due to Daniel Jones and what he has done with this offense. But I mean, the thing I love about this Colts offense, Derek, is it's not just one guy. It's a collective unit from the offensive line to the quarterback to the running back to the receivers to the tight end. Like, it doesn't matter. They're all making winning plays. And that's why the Colts right now are 6-1, because they are the ultimate team right now on offense.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you're right. Every single person is doing their jobs right now. Every single one. And it's not even just everyone's doing their job. Everyone's doing it at an elite level, which is absolutely insane. I've never seen an offense right now where it's like every single player on this team is elite. I mean, every single one of them. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, there is not a single unelite player right now for the Indianapolis Colts starting lineup on their offense. All of them are elite. And we're going to continue to talk about it. I hope the Indianapolis Colts can keep this going, because if they can keep doing this, there's nobody stopping you.
Derek,
There's nobody stopping you,
I have a-
especially with this, even with this defense. This offense can take you to a Super Bowl.
You know
They
what?
can.
I have a crazy thing that somebody sent to us on Twitter. Shout out to Greg Harvey. Derek, this is a mind-blowing stat, okay? I just want to share this with you.
Okay.
So cities/metro areas to have the following happen in a single calendar year. NBA team win 3+ finals games. NFL team starts 6-1 or better, and WNBA team makes playoffs. You want to know how many cities or areas?
I'm going to guess 0.
Now one. Indianapolis.
Well, yep. I mean, dude, I'm telling you right now, I mean, I doubt that the majority of people that listen to us are spiritual in any way, but this just feels different. This feels like the touch of Jim Irsay. I mean, just again, everything that has happened, like you said, the Pacers, when it happened with Jim Irsay, magical things kept happening for this Pacers team to make it in there. And then, of course, the Fever having all their players get injured and still somehow, some way, so close to a WNBA finals. And then, of course, the Indianapolis Colts, their previous owner, and they're off to the hottest start that we have ever seen. I mean, I don't think even the Peyton Manning era was ever this hot to start a season. I mean, record-wise, yes, but numbers-wise, offensively, this is historic numbers. This is historic. I mean, and so I'm loving it, man. The vibe in Indianapolis is just on another level. I love it.
It is. I mean, yeah. Like, Derek, this is, they say, like, the good times, like, remember the good times? Like, we are living in the good times right now with being, and not just a Colts fan, but an Indiana sports fan. I mean, it's so nice. And that's not even talking about, some of the other sports and some of the other teams in Indiana that are also doing really well. I mean, the Hoosiers, shout out to them, number 2 in
number 2 in the whole freaking country.
I
mean, again, the state of Indiana is just living in sport heaven. Yeah. And, I mean, I love it. I love it. It's Jim Irsay doing some work, I'm telling you. Because there's no other rational reason to see all these Indiana teams doing as well as they have. I mean, it's just, there's something supernatural about it. And I hope the Colts can keep it going, man.
This is special, man.
We talked about this offense enough, Cody. Let's talk about this defense here. So, again, Cody, the first half, 3 points by the Chargers on that first drive. After that, nothing burger. The Colts were undeniable in the first half. I mean, they just didn't. There was nothing the Chargers could do right in that second half. Obviously, in the third half or in the second half, the Chargers ended up scoring 21. Because again, the Chargers had to pass every single play in order to be able to get things going. And obviously, Cody, Justin Herbert, career numbers from a passing standpoint, 55 attempts today, 37 of 55 for 420 yards. It's a career high for Justin Herbert. I will say this, though. Again, if you saw him get 420 yards, you would think that the Chargers would have scored 35 plus in this game. You would think that. But they only scored 24. And 21 of those 24 came in the second half. And Cody, we had a feeling this Colts defense, it was gonna get lax at some point, because again, some of the injuries you have on that secondary, there just was sometimes just some things we couldn't help. But I mean, again, you talk about it, the Chargers as well. Their leading rusher today was Justin Herbert, and he had 30 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, so you completely negated that aspect of the game out of there, which is a great sign, Cody, because we have seen other bad teams run the football relatively well on the Colts, but for some reason didn't want to run the football more on us, which is weird. So, I mean, this is the worst that a team has ran against the Indianapolis Colts this year. where they ran 16 carries for 54 yards. That's not going to get it done. So
Right.
the Chargers, they had to throw the football every single time to be able to have a chance in this game. And I mean, Cody, I mean, obviously we sit back, we understand this defense is far from complete. The injuries are mounting up in the secondary and it's getting bad. This pass rush, sure, they got to them 3 times today, all of those in the second half, but a lot of times that didn't matter, right? So obviously there's a lot of things that need to change on this defense right now. And, but I think we can again stay to the point that you still only gave up 24 points to a offense that has Justin Herbert, who was playing at a really good level right now. And all of those points came in the second half where you were just manhandling them the rest of the way.
Mhm.
I mean, so again, while it has its flaws, this defense, when it needed to get the stops, it did it. And remember, in that fourth quarter, the Chargers had the ball from the 12.5-minute mark to the 3.5-minute mark, Cody, and did not score. I mean, think of how crazy that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the defense definitely was frustrating in that second half, for
No
sure,
doubt.
because the Chargers come right out and they punch it in. There's really no resistance. There was at least 2 or 3 times in that second half where Colts had him in 4th down, and they just could not get a stop. Now, also, you look at that and you say, well, you're down to, who I don't even know who the other corner was, 43.
Yeah, but like Mitchell, who the heck is that?
Like,
I didn't even know that he was playing today.
It's funny because it was to the point where my brother, they called a penalty on him. He's like, we don't even have a 43. It's like, well, we do.
I feel so bad talking about him like this because I've never heard of the man before in my life. That's what we're talking about, people. The Colts are playing corners that Cody and I didn't even know were on the roster coming into the game, dude. Like, that's how deep the Colts have had to be at the cornerback room today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy. So, you're like, okay, we look at the trade deadline now. You got to get another corner. Like, it's not a question. You are just so decimated at corner. Hopefully you get Jalen Jones back at some point in the next few weeks. That would certainly be helpful. But at the minimum, you got to get another corner on the outside. You just have to, Derek. You're rolling out just like I said, just nobody. Like nobody we know of. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, Cody. I mean, like
the final 53 man.
You're in a situation right now where, you can argue defensive end or corner when it comes to trade deadline right now. I mean, whatever route Ballard wants to go with, I'm fair game. Like, I don't care which route it goes. If you just somewhat negate the cornerback room and just go for the big fish on the defensive end market, I'm fine with that because that's going to help in a long-term solution. If you go and get a big name in the cornerback market, and just maybe get a piece here and there on the defensive end market, like, I'm fine with that too, because ultimately the problem is the Colts can't wait on this because, again, just because Ward is on the IR, he's not coming back until after the bye, which is week 11. And who knows if he even will be there for the end of the bye. Who's to say, right? He might miss 5 weeks. He may still not be ready. He probably will be, but we don't know that for sure. And then, of course, with Jalen Jones, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. We don't know when he's going to return, if he's going to return. So if you're going to have this situation where Kenny Moore is your only guy, and again, Kenny Moore having to come back from the Achilles injury, applause to that man for playing today. I mean, Cody, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if the Colts win this game. It might have gotten even more worse, to be completely honest with you, because Kenny Moore was balling early in this game. You could see it as it was mounting that he was definitely struggling with that Achilles a little bit. Still battled through it regardless, and I think he's going to keep doing that. He was on a pitch count today, which I applaud the Indianapolis Colts for sticking to that. Saw Lamons make a bunch of plays. But, I mean, Cody, an adjustment has to be made somewhere.
Yeah.
The Colts have to bring in somebody at the corner room, whether that's somebody off the free agent market or if that's somebody from a trade. I don't care, but you have to bring in some people because you're right. You can't keep running out these undrafted free agents at some point. I mean, kudos to them for doing as well as they did today. I applaud that. Again, the numbers won't say it, but again, the Colts practically shut the Chargers down in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's hard to do. So it is what it is. But you're right. We can't rely upon the Indianapolis Colts to have to score 38 a game in order to keep you in it. And if you're going to consistently give up 24 to 27 to maybe 30 points because you can't get a pass rush and because you can't defend people on the back end because your cornerback room is so decimated, you have to make a move somewhere, especially on the back end of your schedule when you're facing really good offenses.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. So it's like it's so hard to fully like criticize the defense in that aspect because, like you said, like you're out there running second, third, fourth string guys off the street, like, and it's not for a lack of a depth that you've added, right? Like you've added it. It's just the problem is you have 4 or 5 corners who aren't playing right now, and one that's very clearly on a pitch count. So it's like it's so weird. With how this cornerback room has just been hit. It's like just one position has just been hit so much. Like, I think you almost have no choice if you're Chris Ballard and the Colts. Like, you're 6-1, your offense is humming. If your defense gets a little bit better DB play, and you get a little bit more pass rush, I mean, you're going to be humming the rest of the year because, you still play the Jaguars twice, the Texans twice,
you have to play the Chiefs.
Once.
You have to play the Chiefs, the Seahawks, and the 49ers.
Yeah.
And then you have to play the Texans twice and the Jaguars twice.
And the
so, I mean, that back 7 is crazy. And, I mean, the next 3 games that you have, you're going to have the Falcons, and that's definitely going to be a tough one. You're going to face the Steelers, who, again, despite what happened against the Bengals, Steelers are a good football team. You're going to face the Titans here next week. You hope you can escape that one out as well. And then you got your bye week. So, I mean, again, these next 3 weeks, you're going to take advantage. You got to take advantage. You can maybe get away with not having big names for these next 3 games, potentially. But on that back 7, man, this defense has got to get healthy. This defense has got to get healthy, and you have got to find a way to get a consistent pass rush on the quarterback. Because I mean, again, it is what it is. And honestly, it's one of the – and we can't even discredit the Colts for not trying to go big on that route. We just heard this week that the Indianapolis Colts made an offer for Trey Hendrickson over the summer, and the Bengals just wanted more than what the Colts were willing to give up. They didn't want to give up Grover Stewart, and they didn't want to give up potential first-round draft pick to go along with it. So – I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, Cody, but obviously some defensive things need to be done in order to do this. But I will say this, again, for the Colts defense, they made enough plays to win today. You had 2 turnovers, 2 big interceptions, one by Grove. I cannot believe I saw that happen with my own eyes. Nick Cross, a huge interception in the end zone. And again, despite everything, man, I mean, they're making enough plays for you to win. And that's just ultimately what you need as a defense.
But like you said, like they're making enough plays, but you're like, we can make it better though. Like you have the opportunity to make it better. Now there's things that you can and can't control. Like obviously there's only so much you can do in terms of adding players, but there still are some players that probably are better than what you're running out there right now. So if you can add an impact player or 2, like at this point, Derek, I think you're playing with house money with your draft picks. Like you don't need to wait on those because if you continue this, you're not going to be picking anywhere near the top 15, definitely not the top 10. So you're like, okay, if we trade away some of these higher picks, if you will, it's kind of like, I likened it a couple weeks ago to like what the Indiana Pacers did, right? When they went and traded for Pascal Siakam. Like, they traded like multiple first-round picks away, but those were late first-round picks. Like, it doesn't matter. You were in the, Eastern Conference Finals, then the NBA Finals. So I'm sure the Pacers would be more than happy to make that trade again. So if the Colts right now are like, hey, we think we can be one of the few teams left in the NFL come January, they need to make some moves now in order to make that happen, right? And I think there are some things they can do. We'll just have to see because the trade deadline's coming up next couple weeks here. I believe it's November 11th or something like that. So you still have a few weeks here.
You got 2 more weeks to make something happen.
But
man.
I think you're to the point, Derek, where you're 6-1. I think you need to make a move coming up next week or two. Like I think it's just a need at this point.
Yeah,
and why not get the guy now, get him in your system and get him ready to go? Because I mean the Titans, let's face it, Titans are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Why not get him ready to go this week? As opposed to waiting. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
It's you can't just hope at some point your defense is going to get healthy, At some point they're going to get a little healthier, but you can't just wait on it.
Right.
You have to make things happen. Cody, before we end this, man, I got to share this with you because this is hilarious. So get this. Games with 3+ touchdowns this season. Jonathan Taylor has 3 of them all by himself.
Jeez.
Think of this. The New York Jets have 2.
What?
The New York Jets, through 7 games, have only scored 3 touchdowns in 2 of them. Jonathan Taylor has more games that he has scored 3+ touchdowns in than the New York Jets as a team.
Wow.
Think of that. That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Hey, I just want to, before we end this, I just want to shout out the special teams. Like you said, Amir Abdullah almost takes one to the house, but certainly sets you up. Really good field position there. Even though Michael Badgerly missed the extra point, which you're like, oh my gosh, dude, like seriously. Yeah. He did make everything else. So you know what? It happens.
It was a good way to respond.
Good way to respond for Badgerly. And then I felt like, Derek, the kick return coverage was excellent today. But
it was. They had more times where they kept the Chargers inside the 25 than they let them outside the 30.
Yeah, they did a great job. Credit where it's due, man. The Colts special teams have figured it out coverage-wise.
Yeah, so they struggled through the first 4 or 5 games of the season, first 4 games, but the last 3, they're looking very, very good. And I'm gonna tell you what, Cody. Another stat just to end it. Colts offense this year scored 26 touchdowns. We have only punted 12 times.
Wow.
So we're scoring more than double the amount of touchdowns than we are punts this year. Wow. Absolutely insane, man.
Wow.
But I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. We could go on forever about this.
This is how we're going to
our way to steal the move. I love it, man. The minions. I love that. It's so funny. All right, well, that's it for this one, guys. Again, your Indianapolis Colts, the best team in the NFL through 7 games, and there's no denying it. The Indianapolis Colts have figured it out, and they enjoy another win, headed back to SoFi, and were able to get their revenge. But shout out to the Colts, man.
Let us know
your thoughts on this.
Shout out to FanDuel as well.
Shout out to FanDuel, man. Fun stuff, man. The Colts better not be unfavored the rest of the year. I'm just saying, unless things start slipping.
It's like the meme of and I took it personally, and the Colts took it personally.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this one. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much. And as always, go Colts.